bottom line. Flow, Canteen, Hot Take,
MLB trade deadline. So, at first, I will tell you, it was kind of meh all week long, right? No one had really made too many moves. The biggest move before yesterday was the Astros trading two of their three strong prospects, really, for Yuzhishi Kikuchi from the Blue Jays, who's a good pitcher, but he has a 4.50 ERA this year. So you don't know how much better it's going to make the Astros. But they traded three of their good prospects, so that could hurt them to come to pass. We'll see. But then today, things did kick up a little bit of a notch. Jack Flaherty did get traded as we thought he was. He was one of the better pitchers we were looking out for. He has a 2.8 ERA on the season. My Mets made a few moves, picking up a few relievers, which is really what we needed to do, was fortify that bullpen. Surprisingly, the Yankees, they made a few smaller maneuvers, but they didn't make any real big maneuvers aside from trading for Jazz Chisholm, which people will say is a huge maneuver, but he's having a down year. He's having one of his worst offensive years ever. So they're going to move him to third base and try him out there. Those were the biggest trades of the trade deadline. Jake, what do you think about your Yankees trading for Jazz Chisholm? And do you have any other thoughts? And then Canteen will come to you.
Here's my thing. It's now or never. And the injury bug has been getting us recently. Let me tell you something. This is not good. We better step up while we can. We were first place for about 3 months of the season. And the fact that we're struggling this bad, it's hurting us. We're in the toughest division out of all of them. And I can't tell you how worried I am. Let me tell you something. Aaron Judge is doing his thing. I saw him hit 2 home runs the other day. He's coming back stronger than ever. We need the dynamic three. We need them. Soto, Cole, Judge. It's your time. We're already nearing August. It's already time. It's go time. Remember, Omar's always said it. The hottest team wins the chip. You got to get hot now. It's now or never.
Right.
As far as this trade, I think, like you said, it's as small as mini-me. It's as small as a minion to me. Didn't do anything big for us. So now more than ever, you better step up, Yankees. It's now or never. I'm pissed.
I mean, I don't blame you. I hate your Yankees, the damn Yankees. But they should have made more maneuver than that. Yes, they needed help shoring up the left side of their infield because of the fact that they had Rizzo hurt and another Rizzo and the other guy, I forget his name right now. But so they needed someone, and they traded for a center fielder to try to turn him into a third baseman. So we'll see how that goes. But you're right, the big dogs need to step up now because the Yankees have fallen behind the Orioles. They are a half game behind the Orioles.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, and tell us about your other thoughts on the standings?
I mean, so right now when we look at the American League East, the Orioles are top, but like I said, Yankees are half a game behind. Red Sox look pretty good, but I don't think the Blue Jays, they're at 13 games, and then you also have the Tampa Bay, the Rays, man, they're at 8.5. The Guardians look really, really promising, but here's what I think. I think that the Minnesota Twins may make a run. They may make a run, maybe a wild card team. And also the Astros and the Mariners, I think they're kind of tied. I think they're tied right now for first place in the West. And Flo's Rangers are at 3.5 games behind for the American League West. But when we look over at the National League,
really quick, just to caveat on that before you go to the National League.
Yeah.
The Mariners traded, and I didn't mention this in my big trades earlier because he is also having a down year. But they traded for Marcell Ozuna. And so that should hopefully, with the change of scenery, his bat will be able to step up. Your Braves traded for Jorge Soler and brought him back to shore up the outfield. So the Mariners actually getting some hitting there that they needed, possibly to challenge the Astros. So continue on with your thoughts on the National League.
National League right now, the Phillies are 65-41. They're top of the National League East. The Braves are like 8.5 games behind. So I think they may make a run, but then the Mets are like slightly behind them at 56-50. The Brewers are doing their thing at 61-45. The Cardinals and Pirates are tied up. They're both 7 games behind in that division. The Reds are 10 games behind, and the Cubs are at 11 games behind. And the Dodgers National League West, they're at 63-44. They look really, really good. Padres are 6.5 games behind. And the Diamondbacks 7 games behind. Rockies can try again next year. 25 games behind.
Yeah, they ain't got no chance.
They look really, really bad, man. As we said, like a week or two before when we met last time, man, once they had the All-Star break, man, I mean, it's kind of like balls to the wall at this point in the season, man, because you got to think, I mean, football season tips off with preseason Thursday, and then August is going to fly by. Before you know it, we'll be midway through September, and then you'll be separating the men from the boys when it comes down to baseball at the beginning of October, man, and the brink of fall.
Yeah, no, you got it right. You know, the Phillies are still looking like the hottest team in the league right now, so at least half of Jake's prediction is still on track, but my Mets are right there. So we are. I said the Phillies are the hottest team. The Phillies are the best team. The hottest team in the league are the Mets still. With 7-3 in our last 10. That's with going 16 and 20 last month.
You're reaching no more.
Hey, we're going for it, baby. Let's go. We didn't make any huge trades, so it's okay. I figured we just shore up the bullpen. But the Dodgers, you mentioned the Dodgers. As I mentioned earlier, they traded for Flaherty, excuse me, Jack Flaherty, and that's going to shore up their rotation. Remember, the Dodgers had injuries all over their rotation. Yamamoto, Kershaw. Now Kershaw is on his way back. Every single person in their rotation got injured at some point. Walker Buehler along the way, all got injured. So they needed this pickup. The Padres kept Blake Snell, didn't trade him away. So they're trying to keep it going as well. So we will see what happens with the rest of the baseball season. I know I'm super excited for the second half to see what happens with my Mets. But right now, again, it's looking like the Phillies, Dodgers, Yankees, and Orioles are still your top
teams
in the major leagues. Jake, any other thoughts on any of that?
Look, if there's one team I'm afraid of, it's the Phillies. And what worries me more than ever is I hope. See, the thing is I think the toughest team, you didn't even say them, the Guardians in the AL is looking more dangerous.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's true. Speak.
So I think it's now more than ever. So, yeah, that's why I'm saying I worry about the Phillies, but I need us to get past the Guardians first.
Yeah.
If we don't, smooth selling. And let me tell you something. We haven't won since 2009. We are deserving of it.
You know what's funny is what I just did there. I overlooked the Guardians like people do every single year. Like they consistently are a fringe or a playoff contender every year, but yet we just overlook them because they're the Guardians or they were formerly the Indians or whatever. We always,
never take it serious.
Right, but man, you're right. They got the best record in the league, so we can't overlook them now. They've been doing it all year, so you're right. They are actually the best, up there in the best record with the Phillies stuff. Awesome.